Hi, my name is Dennis Salana. Thank you for joining me here today on our normal discussions. You are always here with me in my YouTube channel and also on the Facebook live stream, the Inspirationated live stream. Today we're not going to take a long time because I know these are very busy times where people are arranging or planning how to exit from 2022 and enter the new year. Now let me take this opportunity to say Happy New Year. Enjoy the last moments of this year and the initial moments of 2023. Now, before we go very far, the world has been met with shocking and sad news of the passing on of the great soccer legend Pele from Brazil. And what is even more sad to me, particularly, is because his country, Brazil, with all the hopes that it had to snatch the cup for him, it didn't. But nevertheless, I want to congratulate the team Brazil because they fought it all the way up to the semifinals. And again, I also want to congratulate Argentina for having made it, for having taken the cup and the gallant fight that was given by France. Now, this is not the purpose for our meeting here today. Our purpose for meeting here today is simply to wish one another the best new year ever, 2023 that we're entering in. And as we enter, we want to send our condolences to the Pele family, to the Brazil nation, and the whole world on this great loss. I just want to check if we are always moving together or catching up with the current affairs as it unfolds in our midst. The first thing that I want us to talk about, I'm going to ask you very quick impromptu questions. The first one is, in what country was the World Cup 2022 run? In what country? Is it Egypt? Is it Qatar? Is it Indonesia? Is it Russia? The second question, now if you know the answers, just give the answers on this platform, on this channel, or you can use the email address inspirationated.ds@gmail.com. inspirationated.ds@gmail.com, or you can simply hit the comments button below and give the answers. The second answer, or the second question, I'm sorry, is what are the two countries that have been involved in a fight or in a war for the best part of 2022? What are the two countries that have been involved in a war for the best part of 2022? So you can tell me if you think Argentina is one of them, but I want two countries. If it's Argentina, if it's Brazil, if it's Portugal, if it's Malawi, if it's Israel, if it's Ukraine, if it's Russia, if it's Poland, it's Warsaw, if it's Swaziland, if it's South Africa, just give me the name of the country that was fighting another country for 2022 and which made a lot of headlines all over the world. Number three, who is the social media mogul, the social media businessman from South Africa here we are today, who indicated as the year 2022 came to the close that he is prepared to step down as the CEO of Twitter should the popular vote indicate so. Should the users of Twitter and the public at large through the social media vote him out, is prepared to step down as the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Twitter. Now, the last question that I want us to talk about, remember, years go in sequences of 4 in this fashion. The first 3 years will always be 365 and a quarter day long. So let's say this year is 365 and a quarter day. Then the next year also will be the same length. The third one will be the same length, and the fourth one will be 366, because now the fourth quarter from the fourth year is added to the 4 quarters, the 3 quarters of the first 3 years, to make it to the total of 1 day. So instead of 365 and a quarter, it's now 366. Now, what do we call that kind of a year that has got 366 days instead of 365 and a quarter day? Do we call it a spontaneous year? Do we call it a leap year? Do we call it a gigantic year? Do we call it a seasonal year? Or do we call it a surreptitious year? What do we call this kind of a year that is with 366 solid days, no fractions, no broken days, making up the total of the total length of the year? Now, if you are going to get all the answers correct, clap hands for yourself. You'll be exiting 2022, getting into 2023, a very intelligent, a very clever person. In other words, your intelligent quotient will be more than 100. But that was not the issue that we wanted to talk about. I want to talk to you, or I want us to talk together about something that you already know. It's a frog song because it's being said every year to all of us by other people. Now I'm only grabbing this opportunity to be the one talking to you, initiating this talk about it again. It's about the making of resolutions. Resolutions are decisions that you and I and everybody else take in order to change our lives, to make our lives better, to improve some aspects of our lives. It could be health, it could be education, it could be sport, it could be business, it could be relationships, anything. Now, if you have made the resolutions and you have been able to implement those resolutions to the end, then you don't belong here. Simply switch off and leave me in peace, or leave us in peace, because we'll be wasting your time. But if you have never made a resolution before, towards or at the end of the year, since you were born, then remain with us, because we have something to share. Together we've got something in common. But also, if you have made one or more than one resolutions in the past, but you haven't been able to take it through to the end, you haven't been able to implement that resolution, stay with me, because we've got something to share. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the things that we should do and some of the things that we shouldn't do as we come up with our resolutions. The first thing that we shouldn't do is to put a lot of stuff in one bag. In other words, to make many resolutions. Let's say you were about to make some resolutions about yourself, and incidentally also about the other people around you. And those resolutions were going to be about 15. I would advise you, out of those 15 resolutions, to count out 5 and remain with 10. Because it's easy and it makes us feel good to make resolutions, because that shows that we are serious about our life. Yes, no problem about that. But are we going to be able to put them into practice if there are many? For example, if you say, because you haven't been paying attention to your fitness or your health, you want to start exercise, and you want to start jogging, and you also want to start going to the gym, that's fine. It's a resolution. But that resolution will need you to implement it. The gym will not come to you. The road will not come to you and say, start jogging. You have to put everything into effect. Now, suppose you also add that I want to start attending church every Sunday, not only on some Sundays, but every Sunday, provided or supposing that your church goes on Sunday. If your church goes on Saturday, let's say you have the resolution that says you'll be attending church every Saturday. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but the fact is that you are taking a resolution to say, from today onward, church, every church day. Then you write it down. What is left is for you to start going to church every church day. It's very simple, but very difficult at the same time, because it will need you to implement it. Now, if you take one or two resolutions on your spiritual life to improve your spiritual life, 1 or 2 resolutions to implement on your social life, on your religious life, on your health and fitness, on your education, on your general knowledge, on your business development, and you find that you end up with, let's say for argument's sake, with 15 to 20 resolutions. There are those that will need your constant action, and there are those that you will have to do on a spread out time. They won't be as regular as others. So from all, let's say you have a piece of paper and you've written all the resolutions because they belong to you. Some are anger management, some are diet related, some are simply personal development, like if you want to start reading and you say, I want to read a book every month. Doesn't matter whether it's a novel or a fiction or a fact book, but you take a resolution. Now, if you list all those resolutions, the next thing that I will advise you is to prioritize those resolutions. Which one should I start with? Why should I start with this one? Why out of these 20 resolutions, why should I pick up this one as the first one? So this will help you to know which ones are more important for your life than the others, and which ones are more urgent than the others. There are those that are more important but less urgent. There are those that are less important but more urgent. There are those that are not important and not urgent. Some are not urgent but are important. So that spectrum of defining your resolutions will help you to be able to sort them out in terms of which one I should do first. For example, if you were to read a book every month as a resolution, and you were to enroll for a course that would help you to broaden the opportunities in your workplace, and then there will be another resolution to attend more workshops, whether they are based on your workplace or not. Then between these three, because they are related, I think one of them, especially the one about enrolling for a work-related course, should take precedence and the other ones should follow. So you can be able to prioritize your resolutions. But you should also be able to look at all the resolutions and say which ones are short-term, which ones should I attain within a short space of time, like 2 months, 3 months, and which ones will take 6 months, which ones will take a year. For example, enrolling for a course will depend on how long that course is. If the course is 3 months, so it means it's a short-term resolution. But if the course is 1 year or 1 year, 6 months, then it's a long-term resolution. So, Happy New Year. Remember, it's better to take resolutions than to go into the new year empty-handed. But once you take the resolution, make sure that you take action around those resolutions. Don't take resolutions and you just look at them without acting on them. And lastly, don't overstuff your basket with many resolutions. Take as little as you can, but the ones that will be able to follow us. Now, Happy New Year. If you're going to burn the crackers, make sure that you do it safely. Don't burn your house, don't burn your car, don't burn your fingers, don't burn your neighbors. Until we meet in 2023. Have a nice